what I had always knew kind of in the back of my mind that I wanted to do. And then I just finally went for it.
Wow, software engineer from MIT, like studying like in that realm. And then, boom, she's now doing stand-up comedy. Your mom must have been really pumped.
You know, my mom's pretty cool. She was very supportive. I think when I wasn't doing my day job anymore and I really plunged into it, that's when it got to, my family was sort of like, oh, are you really gonna do that? Like when I started, it was like, oh, this is like a hobby. And then when I really plunged in, I think there was like a little bit of what? But now it's better because it's working. Like it worked out.
I love that. I just want to shout out everybody on the chat. Thanks so much for joining us. If you're just tuning in, Ashley Gavin, my dear friend, she's an amazing stand-up comedian. We're going to get a little bit more into her path. And I want to give a shout out because I just saw Emily Aronson is on the chat. That's my producer at Inside Edition and my dear friend, and I love her. Thank you for watching. And Ashley's one of the best comedians, and once we can like actually go out again, like to a comedy club, we'll watch her. But until then, we'll watch you like on Zooms. So
yeah, and my podcast, you don't be shouting it out.
Obviously. Okay, so that's hi Sydney Sadik. Okay, so basically your podcast is so freaking cool. You gave me the great news that one of the episodes went viral. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so this was such a surprise because I was like, you know what, just like launch your podcast. My podcast is called We're Having Gay Sex. It's not just for gay people. There are lots of straight people on the show, and even if there weren't, just by the way, I've been watching your guys' straight bullshit my entire life. I watch The Bachelor. I watch your rom-coms. You can tune in to a little gay sex stories.
You tell us, Ash. Absolutely.
But yeah, so I've been working on it for a while, but I was so nervous about releasing it. I was like, when is the right time? When is the right time? And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, you know what, just put it out there, you know? And so I did, and then I posted one of the episode clips on TikTok, and it went viral, and I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I had never even used TikTok before, so when I saw that it got viral, I was really like, what? Like, what? Like, how? And then we started charting on Apple and Spotify, and we've been charting ever since. So we've been in, like, the top 100, 200 podcasts every week since.
That's amazing.
I think it was just, like, you set up, it's been a long journey for me, and you try to set yourself up for success, but you never know what that moment is going to be. And if you told me that it was going to be some random TikTok video,
right,
I would have been like, you're crazy. There's no way.
And now so many people are listening to We're Having Gay Sex.
Yeah, and that's the coolest part. Like, as a queer person, to think that you can be in the top 100 podcasts in the world is like, you're like, no, this is a niche market. And that people even said that to me. They were like, oh, that's a great niche idea. And then you're like, well, actually...
You're not taking off your clothes like a Kardashian would.
No. It's also a podcast, so even if I did, I'd have to be like, and now my nipples are showing.
Oh my God, I love you.
The nude. Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your favorite comedian who really has resonated with you and inspired you in your career.
I have a lot, but I'll talk about one that's sort of silly right now, which is Dane Cook. I've been thinking a lot about Dane Cook because I have tons of comedians whose voice and whose point of view or their technical work really means a lot to me. Dane Cook is not one of those people.
And sexually, you're like, no thanks either.
But the thing about Dane Cook is, like, he really made himself famous on MySpace, and one day, and you know what, can I even show it to you guys?
You can do anything you want.
One day before, 24 hours before I put that video on TikTok, I was like, you need to Dane Cook your career. Like, you need to do this yourself, because I have written so many pilots and produced so many things, and like none of them ever really took off, and I thought they were all pretty good, so I was like, right, no one's opening the door for me, you have to open the door for yourself. And
kick it down, baby.
Literally 24 hours before I posted that video, I put this on this little message board in my kitchen, and then literally the next day I went viral on TikTok, and I was like, oh, you manifested it. viewers, but I like manifested it, I think.
You did, 100%. I believe in that. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's also really great to see that you're not living at home with your mom.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Guys, see, not all comedians are there forever.
Yeah, so Dane Cook for sure, because he really built his own fan base and made people come to him.
So cool. Okay, so let me ask you this. What goes into like writing a stand-up sketch? Like when you go on stage, essentially, how many minutes are you on there for? Because we as an audience, we just go in and we see a bunch of comics, but what's the preparation that you have to take to like really go in there and kill it?
Yeah, so it depends on the show, but a standard club spot is about 15 minutes. Sometimes it's like 10 to 15, usually 15. And I would say the best comedians, legendary level comedians, like they'll maybe release an hour special every year, right? Maybe every other year. If you look at John Mulaney, that's like every 2 years. So it really takes a long time to construct that hour. If you think about it, it takes a year to construct that hour. It takes then 3 months to construct 15 minutes. And your best 15 minutes, that's probably stuff that you've been doing for 8 years, some of those.
Yeah.
So it takes a really, really long time to even just write a couple minutes that are like truly your best few minutes. And when you go to the Comedy Cellar, when you go to New York Comedy Club or the Stand, or like the best clubs in the city,
iconic places
are doing like my opening joke I've been doing for 4 years, and it's like I have some jokes that are almost that good for an opener, but like I haven't found an opener that's better than that.
Wow.
It's a really, really long process to write new material and get it as good as your like material that you've been doing for a really long time.
Oh, that's so interesting. Thank you for sharing that, because I wouldn't have even realized. I want to give you a shout out. Raybu97 says that your podcast is hilarious and that we should all listen to it. Chef Tova says that she can't wait to come see you live when this is all over. So are you going to be doing any like stand-up comedy types of Zoom settings, or is that something that you're thinking about?
I perform a lot at Remy's Comedy Club, which is an account on Instagram. I think I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. I think it is the only good online stand-up comedy show that I know of right now.
Thanks for being real.
It's tough, but I do post a lot of my stand-up on TikTok if people like want to see it.
Yeah, I only follow like 2 people on TikTok, and you know what? I have to follow you now, but like I always I'm like, who's texting me? It's like, actually, Gavin has created another TikTok. I'm like, I got to watch that.
I won't stop. Right.
She's like moving and shaking now that she went viral.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true.
She went viral the good kind, not the coronavirus kind. She went viral.
Yeah, we're not murdering
on the net
any people on TikTok, but yeah. So I have my stand up on there, and I do have shows, and I have been posting on my story when they're happening. So yeah, that's how I'm like kind of keeping up.
Have you watched Mrs. Maisel? And what do you think of it, if so?
So everyone, the character, Mrs. Maisel, went to my college. So the fictional character. So she taught at my college as well at Bryn Mawr.
Wow.
So literally everyone in my entire life messaged me when that show came out. They're like, Ashley, there's a show about a Bryn Mawr woman who does stand up. And I was like, I am a Bryn Mawr woman who does stand up, so maybe come and see my shows and stop texting me about this one. But so yeah, I am aware of the show and I have watched it, but I can't watch shows about stand up comedy. They stress me out.
Do they?
Yeah, they really, really stress me out. But I have watched it. It's a good show, and I do think it does a good job of sort of like giving you the highlights, like the cliff notes of like what goes into the career, and also just like being a woman in stand up. I think it does a good job of like touching on some of those double standards and like the differences that what women have to go through to be taken seriously. It is a good show.
Totally. Amazing. Okay, so give us a taste of what your podcast actually is about, so that people that aren't already watching it will, because I know it's bomb.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's Friday. People that aren't already listening to it.
Yeah. It's okay. There are clips too, so it is a little confusing. But it's called We're Having Gay Sex. I was in a like a decade straight of monogamous relationships, and then I was like, oh, I'm making the same relationship mistakes over and over again. I don't want to do that anymore, so I decided to, for lack of a better term, and I don't know if this is a family-friendly show, but I decided to be a whore. And it's not anymore. Sorry if you're...
Don't worry, I won't click that box for YouTube kid-friendly or whatever when I upload it.
So that's really what the podcast is about. It's about me trying not to make the same mistakes and like learn new things through my dating experiences, and we talk about them, and we also bring a guest on to talk about their... I mean, it's just like a sex and dating show, but it's really funny. It's very, very funny because I'm an idiot, so I do a lot of dumb things.
That's amazing. Oh my God. How long about is each episode?
45 minutes to an hour. It's like a good commute. I know no one's commuting, but it's like a good commute. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Our first responders and our frontliners are.
Yeah, it's a good break from work too.
I love that. Oh my gosh. It's like, how did you even like get motivated to start the podcast? Because I know that's a bit of a shift from comedy, even though it all sort of, fits into puzzle.
I'm very career focused, and just a question in your...
Oh yeah, what's the name of the Instagram stand-up comedy account?
Remy's, REMYS Comedy Club. So at Remy's Comedy Club.
Cool. Thank you.
I really didn't want to do a podcast. Because I'm really interested in like narrative film and TV, but I was just sort of like, nothing was sort of working. You know what I mean? So I was like, just make a podcast. Just do it, because it's the one thing you haven't really tried, and it's something that you can do independently. And a lot of people have success independently, and that was sort of what I was looking for. I was like, how can I build an independent platform, something that's low cost that I can do myself? So it was very like, I guess I'll do it. And then it worked out. So I'm glad that I did.
See, it's like sometimes when you take the leap and then you don't know where the road is going to take you.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, I'm doing these motivational videos now, and it's like, don't worry about the destination, like where it is on the map. Like, whatever route you take to get there, you're going to end up in the right place. Don't worry about that final spot.
Yeah.
Ooh, girl. So when you actually record We're Having Gay Sex, are you actually having gay sex while you're recording?
No, I haven't had sex on the show yet. That's a recurring joke.
I figured I'd ask.
Maybe one day. I don't know. If things are really bad, maybe I'll resort to that. Sure.
Oh my gosh. How have you been keeping in touch with fellow comedians and friends that inspire you? Because I know you also curate lineups. One of the shows that I came to see you at New York Comedy Club, I believe it was, you put together the roster.
Yeah. I talk to my close comedy friends at least once a week, and I have been doing little writing sessions with some of those guys, mostly via Zoom and FaceTime and stuff like that. It feels nice to be around it, because I love the feeling of being around other comedians and riffing and talking. And we do that on the podcast, and a lot of the podcast guests that I have are comedians. So it's fun, and it feels like we're about to do a show, and we're all in the green room, and we're hanging out, and we're just joking and being stupid.
So cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Now, what would you say to somebody that wants to break into comedy, doesn't know the first thing about it, but like in terms of the format of writing, if there would be like a good resource they could check out, just, try new things? Because that's what we're doing. We've got time on our hands.
Yeah, there are a lot of good books. Gosh, I wish I had one off the top of my head. I would say learning how to write is really, really important. There are basically 4 essential joke structures. So if you can learn those 4 joke structures, I don't know if anyone's interested, but it's misdirection, comparison, exaggeration, and like deadpan. So if you can learn those structures and how they work, that's like a great place to start. And you can find that in comedy writing books. Any good comedy writing book
will have those.
Yeah. So if you can sample a couple pages on Amazon and see if they have like the word misdirection in there. Sorry, I'm reading a question.
Oh, yeah, no.
Questions from viewers.
Libby Lovely.
We do take questions.
I love that you're reading the questions. I'm supposed to be doing that. What am I here for? No, I'm teasing you, actually, Gavin.
I don't want to step on any toes.
Right?
I'm supposed to.
No, by all means, go for it. I'm teasing you. I love that you're so enthusiastic about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do take questions from listeners. And, oh, no. Should I?
Where are you?
I don't
Come
know.
back.
I'm gonna jump out and jump back in.
Jump out, jump in. Hi, Mommy. I want to give you a shout out. I just saw that you said hello. I love that you're home and you can watch. And by the way, Livy Lovely, I like that screen name. Hi, Hannah Williams. Hi, 270 Frederick. Hi, Alicia Manhanna. Ashley Gavs we're going to bring her back on screen. Hey, Alon. How are you, honey? I saw your brother the other day when I was working out. Socially distancing, of course. Hi, Hornet G35. Ashley's back.
Hey. Yes, so we do take questions on the podcast, and we have a Patreon where we guarantee that we answer your question if you're one of our donors. So, yes, we do. Just DM me, follow me, and DM me, and I'll check the DM, and I'll put it on the show.
DMer people. I like it. I just want to keep saying the name of the podcast. We're having gay sex. We're having gay sex.
Yes, it is a name. People like the name.
It's like, wow. Oh, what did you think?
What you're getting into.
This is kind of old news now, but like, what did you think of Amy Schumer naming her baby like that name?
What did she name her baby?
Oh, what? You don't know this? Okay, wait. Why am I blanking out? It sounded like a sex organ.
She named her baby penis.
No. Oh my god.
Vulva.
No. Oh my gosh. Hold on.
Let me Google it. Wait, I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. Beat me to it. Yeah, it was something because she named her baby after somebody in the business, and it sounded like you'll tell me in a second. Brain fart. It's Friday. Not prostate, Jasmine.
Jean Attell.
Jean Attell. It sounds like genital.
She changed it though. It looked
right.
Like.
She did.
Oh boy, I wonder why.
How could she not realize somebody?
Yeah, I know. As a writer, like, I wonder. Well, Attell. I mean, obviously, Dave Attell is like one of the best comedians in the world,
right?
And they must be very, very close. I don't know where Jean comes from.
But Jean Attell. So she changed it to Dave, to Jean David or Jean Dave.
Oh, okay, Jean David. That's better.
I can't believe she could make a flub like that.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I wonder if she knew and she was like, no, this is like the name that I want. Like, who's gonna notice? And then everyone noticed. Because sometimes when I'm, posting something, I'm like, oh, I don't think anyone will be able to. No, like that's like a stretch, and then like everyone notices, and you're like, well, I guess I'm fucked then. So maybe it was one of those. Maybe she wasn't so stupid. Maybe she just assumed that like no one would notice.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And how often do you release new episodes of your podcast?
Every week. We post on Mondays. Yeah.
I love that. I love you. We're having gay sex, everybody. If you haven't already checked it out, you must. She's gone viral, the good kind. Ashley, do you have anything else to add or anything else to plug? You guys, if you're not already following Ashley, please do.
I'm just like very thankful that you had me on. This is so cool. I love it.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Thank you.
I love that our groups have listen, this is what it's all about, people. Being there for each other, supporting each other, picking each other up, and collaborating. I'm about it. I always have been. And there's no better time than now, right, sister?
Correct. Yeah, because there's nothing else to do, so we might as well have some goodwill.
Exactly. And NJHLPI says Jean Nate is also the brand name of a lotion. Jean Nate, like Jean Nate. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I hear it now. Anyway, okay, thank you so much for being a guest on Lifestyle Chats with Val and Friends. You've been validated. Please do not be a stranger, Ash. I can't wait to listen to the podcast and keep watching those TikToks. Thanks so much, honey. Love you. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys, for watching. Live, listen, it's happening in New York City, guys. Empire State Building, New York tough. You can hear the noise. There's my girl.
What's up?
We always prevail, and we will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Listen to the noise. Because you know what? Our first responders, our healthcare heroes, they're everything.
Oh, if Breezy Boo comes in. That's my sister. She's a doctor on the
Hi,
front
Naeem.
line.
Yes.
Also, one of our best friends, Smila, is a doctor on the front line
Yeah.
as well at Elmhurst in
Yeah.
New York. So we have lots of friends that are out there doing their thing. I'm gonna do well. Hopefully, no one from Elmhurst is watching because it's supposed to be a surprise. But I'm gonna DJ at Elmhurst to surprise all of the healthcare workers and just bring some joy.
That's what it's about, lifting people's spirits. Lolo is great at it. She always lifts mine. Guys, New York City, I can't, this view. I mean, I am backlit right now, which is a no-no in broadcasting, but it's not about me. It's about all our first responders. And we wanted to bring you this moment because of the fact that we're right across the street from Bellevue Hospital. I mean, so much. Oh, John Hiscock is messaging me. Guys.
And so Val has gone 18 days without drinking?
Yep.
18 days. And so anyway, that's big accomplishment. No alcohol, crushing it.
In a quarantine, people.